Thank you. So good evening. Welcome to the Nipissing Township Museum Board meeting for May. This month, we're holding it a little bit later. It's May 13th, 2026. I'd ask if there's a disclosure of pecuniary interest now, or even as the meeting goes on. Seeing none, I have a motion to approve the minutes. And I need a mover and a seconder, please. Steve and Dave. Okay. So moved by Steve and seconded by Dave that we approve the minutes of the Nipissing Township Museum Board meeting held April 1st, 2026 as presented. Is there any discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried. Okay. Staff updates.
Okay, so the building maintenance, the building has been inspected. Have you received the report yet?
We reached out earlier this week to see if we've got the final report. The engineer is still working on it. Don't have a final report as of yet. It's looking positive, but until we actually get the report from the engineer. But yes, I think everything will be fine, but we're still waiting for that official word, so. But he was working on it this week, so that's positive.
So we can still open as planned tentatively?
Yes, yeah, he didn't, when he was out doing the inspection, he didn't have any, glaring concerns or anything, so, but we have to just get the official word in writing, so.
Okay, thank you.
Here's a question. Are we going to be putting down some seed on the soil that's where they dug it up?
Where they dug it up, I'll speak to the operations superintendent to see if they've got any plans to do
Because I
that.
just noticed driving by that it's level, but it's not.
Yeah, I saw them putting down, I think like topsoil or something over top of this, like sort of
Yes,
sandy stuff.
it's
I'm not
there,
sure if
yes.
they put,
Okay.
maybe they put grassy
Okay.
down at the same time, I'm not sure. They're working on it.
Yeah, okay. Yeah, I saw it was nice and level and it was dark soil, so I assumed it was topsoil, but wasn't sure if it was seeded yet or not.
Okay,
Okay, there's nothing else in regards to building and maintenance? No? Okay, so event planning.
Okay, so first of all, the butter workshop. So I've contacted Bernadette Kern, she's a great big bread for the two events.
Is there a cost for that? Sorry, is there a cost for that this year?
It will depend on her costs, I believe. So once I have a better idea of how many people will be attending each event, then we can cost things out with her. But I seem to remember the cost for the bread that we got for the tea and talk last year, plus the extra loaves that we used for the butter making event. It was $40 and it was quite a lot of bread. So I don't think it'll be a significant cost, but we'll see. So it, I guess the first thing we should address is the event that was planned for July 2nd, which is also our opening day. Do you want to keep it on our opening day or would we like to move it? I don't foresee much of a problem given that I have a number of people signed up as volunteers for that day. It's very simple to lead. In fact, if we have even one of our students returning, I think they would be able to comfortably lead the workshop.
What's that workshop? Is that
The butter.
Oh, that's the butter workshop, was on July 2nd.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
We don't normally do anything special on the opening day, do we?
we have occasionally done things in the past. One year we had cupcakes and lemonade. Certainly when we haven't done anything special, we haven't been overly busy. It's going to be it's going to be a weekday, not a weekend. So I wouldn't expect too many sort of drop-by visitors to the museum on that day. Anyway,
So how does everybody feel?
and I believe it's gone out in the newsletter as that date already.
That's a Thursday.
It would be an event that's being held on our opening day, which I
Yeah.
think is kind of nice, but
Yeah.
that's just my opinion.
And
I like the idea of having something to attract people to, so you bring them in, they
Yeah.
can tell everybody, okay, the museum's open now.
we
Mhm.
have cool activities. There's more going on later in the summer.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, no,
Exactly.
I think that's great.
Okay, perfect. So we can keep that as is.
I just, not to, but, the only challenge is, if we don't have returning students.
Yeah.
Then have new students, and that would be their first day coming in. So there's still,
My idea is if they are students and they're just coming in, they're not really gonna be involved with visitors anyway. They're gonna be learning their script, they're gonna be helping with dusting and sort of regular maintenance. And the butter would probably actually be a fun way to introduce them to the museum.
and they'll still have orientation stuff that they would have to do.
Oh.
Yes, like
I
there's
forgot
still,
about that.
yes, there's still
That they have to do at the
onboarding that
office.
has to happen,
Okay,
you know, in order to work, right? And so,
okay,
That's if
um,
they're new students or
Right.
even returning.
no, if they're brand new staff, never worked for the municipality, then there's training that has to
Mhm. Oh,
occur.
absolutely, yeah.
So if, you know, I understand having an event on the first day, which is great to attract people. We don't know who the students are gonna be. The posting doesn't close until mid-June. So it would just have to be, if they are new students, then it could be Jillian running it with volunteers, as long as there's enough volunteers and support, because those students might not be there initially to do it. So that's just the pros and cons to it. It absolutely, it brings, you know, somebody, as long as in your prep time, you have everything to go on that first day, you know, with an event going on before the students were to start, if they are new students.
Can I just ask why you start them on a Thursday?
it was because Canada Day,
Oh, of
the
course.
Wednesdays.
Yes, yeah,
Yeah.
normally the week would start on a
When you're
Wednesday.
retired, things like that, just don't mean anything.
Yes, yeah, yeah, and then they would still work till the Sunday because they work over the weekend.
Right, right.
Yeah,
No, we're all good.
Yeah.
You just said though that you have volunteers.
So when I passed the sign up sheet, for the July 2nd workshop, I believe,
I think I'm on that.
I'm on.
I think you.
Am I on
signed
that?
up,
I don't know where I am.
I told
you to
You
put-
signed
I
up,
told
you
you to
signed up,
put me where
and
we
you said
needed
you would come if needed.
And,
I thought
Yeah.
that was the date that I said. Okay, I'm gonna mark that down.
I can't remember where I left my sheet. That had that written on it.
You're gonna have to.
Yeah, for that day as
Say what
well.
time that is?
Yeah. Do you have a copy of who signed up for it?
I do,
everybody got an email.
no,
Oh, you didn't send it? I thought you did. Oh, I got
Uh,
one. Did you just send it to me?
I don't think.
That said what I was signed
That
up
was a
for?
good
Cause I
idea.
put it on my
Sure.
calendar.
pardon me?
It's always a good idea to keep the chair in the loop.
Yeah, true. Anyway, if you could send out an email
Have lots of
letting
help, but
everybody
I'll
know,
come.
but you'll be fine. You'll have lots of help.
Yeah.
There's just some things I can't do, but I'll
Yes.
still be there.
Yeah,
And it's also, it's really quite a simple workshop. Like it's. You know, if volunteers are willing to sort of, I know several of you are comfortable interpreting the hardware store. And, you know, that's where a lot of the dairy items are, so there's some of you that can help with that component of it.
Oh, yeah,
You know,
'cause we got
someone who's
green
willing to wash
separated.
dishes. Some of the prep work I'll have done before, the day of, I'll do it on the Tuesday. So I think.
We'll make it
just
work.
fine.
We'll make it,
It'll work.
Yeah.
we'll make it work.
What's next?
We're still, now we have Heritage Day,
Um,
or are you gonna discuss the map making? Or are you gonna leave that?
I don't think I have anything in particular for the rope craft. I do just have a sample of the poster. I don't know if y'all got one.
For Heritage Day?
They got Heritage Day. I didn't give the robots. I didn't know if you were giving that out yet.
It was more, I think I'll change the colors a little bit, so there's a little bit more contrast.
But it shows up like this.
Basic idea of the poster.
Oh, I see.
So if there's any questions or comments, things you'd like me to add to it before it's
I will
printed up.
tell you right now, Jillian, I cannot attend that one. I did tell you it was tentative when I said I might,
Okay,
but I can't. I have family coming in from out of town that weekend.
okay, I know you specified you couldn't come on the Saturday. You signed up for the Thursday, and you can't come to that one either?
Oh, I can come on the
You
Thursday.
can
I
come on
just
Thursday?
can't come on the Saturday.
Okay, yeah,
Yeah.
no, that's fine. I think you already mentioned that. Thank you.
Good, good.
All right, done.
This only says Saturday on here.
On the
Oh,
top.
on the top it says, I didn't see it. Thank you. It's challenged.
No, the colors that I see on the screen are very different from the way they print out, so it looked on my screen like there was more contrast.
It's fine.
It's fine.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's fine. It's got kind of that rustic old look to it. And-
Yeah, I think it's just a matter of, I think, lightening up one side so that you can see that they're two different dates.
Yeah, I didn't catch that. I just saw it with the basket making and then I didn't even look and see the coaster craft, so. Okay. Okay. When, if nothing as far as, if nothing as far as, content changes, if you're just changing the color, is it okay if I post this? Or the Lions are doing, the Poisson Lions are doing seniors lunches right up till the end of June.
Okay.
And I'd kind of like to put it on our bulletin board at the hall so that people can see it. So I'll do that this week when I go tomorrow.
So that's it for, one last thing about the workshops, for those that want to sort of have some hands-on practice before the event, I can bring in ingredients for the butter making and the ice cream making at the next meeting, and you can sort of try it out, just so you get comfortable if you're volunteering. And I also have, for those who are volunteering for the butter, I do have a printout of the program sort of instructions that I did up last year after we ran it. So I'll hand those out at the end for those who are interested in reading it beforehand. Otherwise, we can move on to Heritage Day.
Yeah.
So I've contacted Bernadette Kerr regarding engaging the Country Reruns and Friends Band to provide music during Heritage Day. So the band would normally charge $550, but they're willing to play for $500, since the museum usually provides lunch to band members if they're playing at an event. So is that?
That's fair. That's a
We're
long
good
day
with
for them and.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
everybody agrees.
I think we have a motion.
We have a motion for that one.
We do. So I need a mover and a seconder regarding the motion for the Heritage Day. Deb and Dave. So moved by Debbie and seconded by Dave that the Nipissing Museum Board approve the event fee of $500 for the Country Reruns and Friends for Heritage Day. Any other discussion? Seeing none, all in favor? Carried.
So I've also contacted Bob Bartlett, and he's agreed to come do his blacksmithing demonstration again.
Oh, nice.
And I've also contacted both Doki's First Nation and Nipissing First Nation with an invitation, including an invitation to bring a display if they are willing and able. So we'll see what we hear back. One other thing the event time, we generally run it from 11 AM to 3 PM. Do we want to change that at all this year? We'll keep it the same.
No, I'm good.
No. We're all at an age where we can remember that. part.
Yeah,
If you
Should
change
be
it, it'll
good.
just mess us right up.
Fair enough. Okay,
and
so,
food?
so that was another question. Would we like to run the barbecue, by donation again this year?
That worked pretty good last
It
year.
really did,
Made
yes.
more money that way than,
Did we make more than we normally do when we charge?
It's hard to tell because it's dependent on the number of visitors that we get.
Oh, right,
I think the way we I'm pretty sure the way we calculated it, based on the number of
hot dog
food that was consumed and the amount of revenue that we got, it was, I think, just a little bit over what we would have made if we charged a set price.
But I think it went really well.
Mhm.
I mean, for us, it went really well, didn't
Well,
it?
there's only got one person that.
Yeah, we just had one person but that's fine, you know,
so
so,
it's not broke, so there's nothing to fix.
Exactly.
yeah, sounds
Yeah.
good.
Right.
So,
And
yeah,
it gives people in the community that might not have been able to come if there was a set price, to be
Yeah.
able to come if they only can donate a certain amount.
Oh, yeah.
Yes,
for Sure, that makes sense.
Yeah,
So I did have a few other questions about the food. So last year when we did the tea and talk and we had the vegetarian and vegan options, it was quite appreciated by some of the folks in the community who, wouldn't have been able to consume like any of the barbecue offerings. So would we like to add an option? Or
like vegan burgers? Or vegan hot dog? Do they make?
I
vegan
don't
hot
know.
dogs? I know. Do they?
I know they
Debbie's face is great. Yeah, my neighbor's vegan and she always asks, so.
yeah. So if you could ask her if she has any suggestions for some good vegan alternative for a barbecue.
Yeah.
Sure, I would think it would be, I would think it would be hamburgers.
Probably.
Yeah. I wouldn't do hot dogs. Yeah, you can get vegan burgers, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Veggie burgers, yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. yeah. I would keep it simple and just go with veggie burgers. If anybody, and then we don't cook them unless somebody asks, right?
Well, that makes sense, yeah.
And then if nobody asks for veggie burgers, then I can probably sell them off to my neighbor.
If
after
we
the
went back
fact.
to get a whole lot, like there are.
Yeah.
No, there won't be
It would just be a
tons.
small amount, but it
Yeah.
would be
Yeah.
about
Might be
sort of being
surprised, though.
inclusive of
Oh, yeah.
everyone.
Yep.
You never know.
Yeah,
yeah.
So last year we did
If you put it on the poster, it's available,
Mhm.
then you may have more
more
people
people
coming out.
asking,
True
yeah.
enough.
So
Whereas
let's
I
just
think,
make
yeah.
sure we've got enough in case there are. And are you doing the same other than that? Hamburgers, hot dogs and sausages like we did last year?
Certainly, I'll take a look at the exact proportions, but I think, yeah, having the same options would be a good idea.
Do you have a copy of what we sold last year?
I think I'm good with it.
the food was delicious.
It was
Yeah.
good.
Everybody you talked to,
Yeah, we usually get it from Mill Bay Market and then,
Yeah, you
Yeah.
can't
That
go
that
wrong
makes
there.
such
Yeah.
a difference. You can't be wrong.
No.
That's to be the best.
He made you,
Matt does the sausages himself.
so the other question I have, because again, we don't have Tea and Talk, we don't have Pie Fest. Do we want, and we're not gonna be stocking as much candy, we don't have the frozen yogurt anymore. Do we want to include, some sort of dessert option?
Like a cupcake or something.
Yeah, or like little mini, pies, since the Pie Fest was something that was really popular and people still sometimes ask about it. Like making them in muffin.
Yeah,
cups
yeah,
instead of,
yeah,
like,
yeah.
pie.
I remember that's one of the first things I helped at was the Pie Fest. I don't know.
is there
It's a lot of
supplier?
planning to do for Heritage Day
I
and then
think
to
we're
do
okay.
baking ahead of time, because you have to do it here in a safe, like a food safe kitchen. So,
I think.
I think we'll just
We'll
leave it
just
with
stick
hot
it.
dogs and
Okay.
hamburgers
That's okay.
and chips.
Yeah, bags of
Because the
chips.
bags of
Oh,
chips
okay.
went really well last year. A lot of the
Oh, yeah, I've
kids,
forgotten that
the-
I think
there
it was the
were-
fire department.
I think they had donated them.
yeah,
for
I don't know
whatever
where they
reason,
came
yes.
from, but they were very popular with the kids.
Mhm.
See if they can donate.
And tea and coffee, and
And
you
you
could,
did some lemonade or something, and that was
Yeah.
very
you
popular.
could do your maple syrup tea, like that was so
Yeah.
popular last year.
Yeah, I figured, yeah, we could do, coffee, cold coffee, the way we did it last year. Make up the iced tea and have the
The
lemonade.
cold coffee was the big hit too.
Well, the hot coffee went in the morning and then.
Yeah,
it
yeah.
cold halfway
switched it-
through.
Well, it was such a nice day, right?
Yeah.
So, yeah,
Um,
okay.
okay, so- Sorry,
You're looking up,
I think Jillian, the next thing I see here is the event poster. I think Jillian's created a great
Yeah.
event poster for Heritage Day.
yeah,
Yeah,
So the stuff in the bottom left corner will change a little bit as we talk about what kind of activities we want to do, but this is sort of the general format.
so you're gonna take off the bake sale portion that's on there, so that'll come off.
Yeah, so, just as Steve asked earlier, so the total hot dogs was 45, hamburgers 23, and sausages were 30. And that's what was consumed.
that was consumed?
Yeah.
So, yeah, so we can just say,
Keep it the same, like in around
Yeah.
whatever you bought
Whatever
last year.
the bulk, that, cause I think that's how we did it, is we bought a box of it, so whatever the closest.
To
go round
those,
Up or down. would
Round
be.
it up.
yeah.
So, so there are some sort of activity ideas which could be used for fundraising for something such as the windows in the church. Or they could just be activities to attract visitors. So since, we're not doing the craft fair in the fall, did we want to invite craft vendors to Heritage Day?
So I think if we're gonna do, like the silent auction, or if we're asking for donations, it's important to say what we're fundraising for. Used to be we're fundraising because of the foundation. That's been addressed. So we need to identify if people are, donating items to the silent auction to be auctioned off, or if we're gonna do events, what we're fundraising for. So I know we've identified in the strategic plan that eventually the church windows have to be done, and they would want to be done, historically correctly. So that might be the next thing the board would want to consider, that we put funds towards. So, and the community could say, okay, I see the church, I see the windows, that would be something we could fundraise towards. So I think Jillian's proposing some ideas that we could consider for Heritage Day, or, do we want to have them just as activities, or are they fundraising activities for the day? Or do we continue on with what we've done before as silent auction, knowing that we're going to the same, community businesses or vendors asking for donations for the silent auction?
So, quick question from me, that if we ask craft vendors, not garage sales type stuff, like the people that make stuff.
Yep.
Do we charge them a fee to set up?
That would be something that, the board could decide. We could also say donations would be great.
See, that's what I was thinking, if we ask them if they wanna come and set up, and we ask them to donate something that they've made to the silent auction, that would increase our stuff that are things that are in the silent auction. And we could keep it so there aren't like hundreds, like keep it
Well,
just fairly small.
when we did this the first time, there wasn't a humongous number of people. I think we had about 13.
How are you doing? Good, how are you? I'm good. Was there a way to get to the gym?
Around the back.
Okay, yeah, we have our fob with us, but it's not working.
Um,
Might have to bring it in. I don't know if there's a way to get in without it or not.
no, sorry, we're on.
We just
live
have to wait
TV.
till-
Zoom board, that's okay. I don't know if we can get it down that way. It's a little around that front.
I can go ask them.
Go ask them if you get it.
Sorry about that.
So you were saying, when you did it before, there weren't a ton of people that came.
Like, there was enough that we did have to find, you know, space for everyone. But we didn't have trouble doing that.
Okay.
And a few of them did donate, even though there was no fee, some of them donate. I think one of them donated a cash donation. I think one of them donated something for, like a prize or for the silent auction as well.
So what does everybody think?
Well,
Would there be funding for those windows, such being a heritage building?
So there's different funding we can look for because it is a heritage building, so it's looking at the different grants that could become available. Like what we used to do when I would apply to the Ontario Petroleum Foundation to do that. So we can look for that. There are ones that are specific for museums and heritage buildings under that way, so I would have to look into those for that. I looked into one that way, but I didn't get into the specifics. They were inquiring about a number of documents that way, and I hadn't had a chance. And then when I looked at it, it had actually closed a while ago, so it would be a matter of looking into what is available. So certainly we can look into grants moving forward.
Because there's a lot of money right now coming out.
Yeah,
in the next
now's a
couple
good
months.
time, yeah.
Lots of announcements.
Yeah.
So the suggestion on the floor then is that we ask a reasonable number of vendors to come, craft vendors. And we ask them for a donation for the silent auction table
Or we could give them an option if you'd like to support the museum.
monetarily.
Yeah, you can either give a cash donation or you can donate something to our silent
Yeah.
auction, but you don't have to,
yeah,
unless we get too many people.
Well, no, you would cut
Yeah,
it off.
no,
You would
yeah.
just say, you know,
Yeah.
we're really sorry, we don't have room for anybody
Yeah.
else, right? So,
I
and
think you
try and
have to
make it,
determine how many vendors you
Yeah.
could have, because you still want space
For
for
other
Bob to set up, and he
Yeah.
needs space.
Yeah.
And you need people to mill about for the barbecue and that, so you may have to determine, we could have 10 vendors or 8 vendors or
Yeah.
whatever it
and
is.
just make sure there's no duplicates. So you know, you always get that gentleman that makes the beautiful, great big birdhouses and all that sort of stuff. And so you don't want somebody else that does that as well. You kind of keep it.
that's cost me $50. Bonnie always buys bird. Always. And then-
But then
Yeah.
too, if they donate to the silent auction, then it's local items, you know, for
Yeah.
for
Yeah.
people to purchase as well. And I would suggest, as we've done when we've gotten gift certificates for propane or from businesses, is you ask them what the item is worth, so we put a minimum
Bid on it.
it.
Yeah.
Like as we did before, so
Yeah.
that there's
what you-
value coming in.
Yeah, we did that last year, so. So is everybody comfortable with that? We'll leave it with Jillian and see where it goes?
Yeah.
Okay, and you're gonna look at
Grants, I've
what
got-
grants are out there
Yes.
right now, and what documentation you need, so we don't miss out on them, so,
Okay.
all
So we're
right,
not charging them a fee then.
no,
Donation.
a donation, yeah.
So since we were talking about the silent auction, do we still want to contact the same businesses that have been given year after year, or just accept things that are offered? Like if they are offered?
Right. So how does everybody feel? Because I know how I feel.
I think you still contact businesses.
Yeah? See, oh,
Sorry.
that's okay. I personally think you should contact the businesses. If for some reason they do not want to, the answer will be no. But if you don't ask, you
Okay, so
never
then
know.
if they don't want to, they're gonna say no.
Yeah,
I-
precisely. Yeah,
I would think.
yeah. So, and I doubt that they will because it's not, in their bottom line, it's not a huge amount and they budget. Most businesses budget a certain amount for local support and stuff like that.
So the other thing I was wondering, about as an activity would be a craft fair competition, so like old traditional style fall fair. Public can enter, crafts of any kind. And the criteria for the entry would be that it has to somehow relate back to the history of the township, to the museum or its collections. Or local, just general local history, and that would be something they have to fill out as part of their entry form.
And you do it for different ages?
Well, that was the other thing I was wondering, if this is something that we're interested in doing, should we have age categories to, encourage participation? And items could either be returned after the event, or they could be donated to the silent auction if, the people choose. And you can have a first prize and maybe honorable mention prizes, but it would be a way of getting people to participate and think about local history. And it's something that, like the silent auction, where we normally, people bring things in, they get displayed for a couple of weeks before the event. If people are bringing things in throughout the summer, we can find somewhere to display them in our office building to help encourage other people to participate. I certainly know Upper Canada Village, they do this on a much larger scale, but it's very popular. And apart from the prizes and creating the entry form, accepting things, it wouldn't create a whole lot of staff work. If that makes sense.
You just need a couple of
Yeah.
judges, that's all.
That would be the other thing. Do we want to have the board judging at the event, or the staff judging, or is it something that we get the community to vote on throughout the event and then announce the winner at the end?
Probably the community would be nice, have
Yeah.
a sheet and
Yeah,
they could,
And then we could tally it up.
Yep.
Yeah, it's a good idea.
gets everybody involved that way.
Yeah.
Even if they don't want to enter.
and
Yeah.
it doesn't point the finger at us.
Exactly.
And I think if you're going to do it, I would suggest you do it for, to encourage more kids to come out,
Mhm.
to do it for children, like, 5 to 10 or something like that.
Okay, so
Just
that's,
keep it, but no, not adults, like, just keep it, because the adults can help them get it ready,
so we
right?
don't want a category for adults.
Do you think? No, I don't think so. I think we should do it to
No.
encourage the kids, because you're trying to get the children more interested in the history, right?
Mhm.
So that's the way I would do it anyway, so.
So could you contact the school to see?
Like if you could get a flyer ready before the end of the year, then you could give it out before school ends, and then it's something that they have, knowing they could drop it off at any time, as long as it's in by Heritage Day kind of thing.
Yeah, and you could put one in at the library in Powassan and,
Well, I'd include it on the Heritage Day poster, and I can maybe get them to post, on their Facebook, or are you saying I should do a separate poster for this?
I'm thinking like if you had even like a half day to explain what it is, what you're looking for, so there's more details, because I
Okay.
think if somebody got just the Heritage Day poster, they might just look at that and miss that for the kids. But
Okay.
if the kids are getting something home from school and they realize it's
Yeah.
something just for the kids, oh, and the child reads it at school or gets it, oh, I can create something, then it gives them an idea to do
Okay.
that.
Okay, so, do we want 2 or 3 different age categories? And what's the cutoff age? Like end of high school?
No. No offense, but I don't think you'll get teenagers entering.
Kindergarten at grade 8.
Yeah,
That-
keep it into grade school.
Yeah.
Keep it in the grade
That way
school.
it's-
Yeah, and we can, you can divide it up, like kindergarten to grade 3, and then 4 to 6, and then 7 and 8. It's not fair to judge kindergarten kids against the grade 7 and 8s, right? So,
Okay.
Yeah.
So, and community vote. At the event.
no, put the community vote, if you're displaying them all summer,
Okay,
then wouldn't people vote when they went and looked at the, or you want everything there though, and a lot of it might not come in until the day of the event, right?
well, yeah,
Yeah,
but, well, we can maybe have, maybe what we can do. is
that
we
day,
can have
yeah,
people-
but the community can vote, community vote on the,
We can maybe encourage people
Heritage
to have
Day.
everything in the week before the event, we can start voting the week before.
yeah, just in case people want to stop by and have a look, right?
And then we can announce the winner at the end of Heritage Day.
Mm-hmm.
Another idea in the same sort of vein was sort of a funny looking veg competition. Again, it could just be like no entry, obviously no age category is necessary, but it could be a piece of produce that's grown in a funny shape in someone's garden, or something that they've carved or drawn on to exaggerate like a funny or unusual feature or shape.
It's
I know
not
that's-
really the right time of year for weird shaped vegetables.
No.
Root vegetables are only just starting to really
Starting.
grow by that time, right? So
It's pretty early for.
pretty early
Yeah.
for everything, yeah.
Okay.
We could still do something like that later in the fall.
We're not open in the fall.
Oh, no, that's right. Okay.
We're not open when we.
No, when you do weird shaped root vegetables, yeah.
But if we have, if we have a couple of displays going on and now you've got this going on and crafts, you probably have a lot going on.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it was just,
Yeah.
this is just the list that I had,
Yeah.
the different things, I
Yeah.
wasn't sure what you guys
And
would
the
wanna
only-
choose.
The only other thing that wouldn't be a lot of work during the season would be if you wanted to do up an outline that kids could color, that was something to do with, like this one with the soldier, like,
Okay, we do
That
have
they
some
could-
coloring pages.
that they could color and they can pick up, and then if they bring it back with them on Heritage Day, if we get enough, we could judge them, right?
Yeah,
But, or they could just take them and do them with, maybe with a little bit of a blurb on the top
we
about,
have done a coloring competition, and I can't remember how many entries we had. I know we have done that before.
that could go in the whole crafts judging time, right? We could just,
Well, it could be something that we
Carve-
have as an
carve out a
option
little
for
bit.
the younger age
the
group,
little
maybe.
kids, yeah,
Um,
but I think I agree that, I think we've got a lot going on
Yeah.
that day now,
Okay.
so.
Yeah.
So we're
Yeah,
good.
we're
Okay.
good.
Right. Is there anything else for Heritage Day? Okay. Any concerns about the poster, apart from obviously the content, which I told you I'll change. So the next item would be collections. Again, there's nothing to report, because I've been working on other things. Namely the exhibits, where again, just continuing to work on the exhibits. For the waterways and the Remembrance Interactive exhibit. Does anyone have any questions about either of those? There's also nothing new to report for strategic planning.
Okay. All right, so that's it for the agenda. Is there anything anybody wants to discuss before we call the meeting to a close? Seeing none, I need a mover and a seconder. Mary, Gladys and, sorry, Steve. So moved by Gladys and seconded by Steve that the board meeting is hereby adjourned at
6:41.
6:41. And the next meeting will be held Wednesday, June the 3rd, 2026 at 6 p.m. All in favor? Carried.